Alright guys, if you've been in SEO at any time at all, I'm sure you've heard of the concept of e.e.a.t, and in this video I'm going to explain exactly what e.e.a.t is and what you need to know about it so that you can actually establish it on your website and stand a better chance of ranking. So firstly, what does e.e.a.t stand for? So it stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And basically these four are four metrics that Google's team uses to discern whether a website is worth ranking and is relevant and whether they're going to show it or not. So it's essentially a checklist that they use. And basically what each of these points means is: one, experience. The author has direct experience with the topic they're writing about. Expertise, meaning the author has expertise on the topic, such as qualifications or credentials. Authoritativeness, which is how much authority the author and the site has in their particular niche. And then trustworthiness, which is how trustworthy is the site, the content, and then creator, etc. So how do you actually establish e.e.a.t? I'm going to go through each of these points on how to establish each of them with your site. So basically the first one, with experience. With experience, what you need to do in theory is prove that you have direct experience with the topic. So for example, if it's about a particular item, let's say you're doing a review. This is a big one with websites doing reviews, for instance. Having images or videos of you personally using the item will help to establish that you have direct experience with this exact thing versus someone who's just writing about it. So that's one of the reasons why this is a point on this list. Now, the second one is having unique content that cannot be found on other websites, such as your personal experience with that particular topic. Because most of the time, most content is just regurgitated from other people's websites and other people's content and then just spun for their own website. But if you can provide a unique viewpoint or something else about the particular topic that's not found anywhere else, that's going to demonstrate that you have personal experience with this topic in order to have been able to actually make that in the first place. And that's going to help to establish genuine experience on this particular topic. Now, the next one is expertise. So with expertise, basically you need to demonstrate what expertise you have on this particular topic or whoever the author is, right? One way to do that is to have an author box on the article or on the page and have the credentials and the qualifications of the writer in that author box. And basically that's just going to help establish them as having expertise in that particular field. So let's say someone's qualified in a particular type of health or medicine, like a doctor of some kind. Having that on there is going to help establish that they are actually an expert. And also having an About Us page with more information about the author and links to their social profiles will also help to establish that expertise and also prove that they're actually real as well. Because obviously it's not very hard to just get a picture and write a description, even if it's not real. But establishing that this is actually a real person and a real expert will help to establish the expertise side of the equation. Now, when it comes to authoritativeness, basically what you do here is establish topical authority with the website. So that would be through having the content about all the different areas of that particular topic or niche. You would have backlinks from other niche relevant sites, which help to prove that you are actually demonstrating something worthwhile in that topic and other sites actually want to refer to you as an authoritative source of information. Having the writer as a well-known expert in the field will also help, as well as mentions on other websites, so obviously backlinks or mentioning the brand, as well as news and social media mentions. These will help you with authoritativeness as well. All this helps to just establish the fact that this is actually a real brand and people are actually interested in reading what you have to say and indirectly that it's useful to them. Now, the last thing is trustworthiness. So this is basically how trustworthy the website itself is. So things like having an SSL certificate, not tricking the users into anything that they don't necessarily want to do, having a good user experience, citing credible sources in the content, having your contact details clearly displayed so people can actually contact you and they know who's running the website, and privacy policy and terms and condition pages are all signals of trustworthiness that this is actually a genuine website. It's not just someone trying to, set up a website for nefarious reasons, let's say, or something like that. And having all these things together helps to establish your entire website as something that Google can trust and as a result will likely want to rank in Google. A couple of notes on e.e.a.t. This isn't a direct ranking factor, but Google does prefer to show results with e.e.a.t established. There are websites that do rank without e.e.a.t, so that's just something to be aware of. Just putting all of these factors on your website itself will not necessarily make it rank, but it's going to give you a better shot of ranking, assuming everything else is done correctly. So it's a good checklist to establish just to make sure that you've covered all the bases so that you know for sure that if you're not ranking, this is probably definitely not the issue. Now, one last point about this is YMYL, otherwise known as your money or your life. YMYL are topics that could significantly impact the reader's finances, legal, health, and safety or well-being overall. So it's a particular type of topics that Google has clustered together that they apply a different set of standards to. So things like medical advice, financial advice, safety, emergency events, and other things fall under the YMYL umbrella. And these websites or pages that talk about these subjects have much stricter e.e.a.t standards that the website will need to pass if Google's going to rank it. So let's say, for instance, if you've got a website talking specifically about medicine, you will have to prove that you actually have medical experts on the website writing for it in order to actually rank. It's not just going to rank any random blog talking about medicine, because that could, in theory, actually harm somebody if they follow the wrong advice. So that's just something to be aware of if you're getting into one of these. YMYL niches are stereotypically known to be a lot harder to actually rank for. So just be aware that if you're considering getting into one of these niches, it's going to be harder to rank for than another thing like cooking or something that's just not that big of a deal if somebody, burns their lasagna or something. So just keep that in mind. That's basically it for EEAT. This is the fundamentals of what you need to know regarding this. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments below and I will answer them. Otherwise, if you'd like me to coach you on how to do SEO or Google Ads for only $49 a month, go to learndominatemarketing.com. And if you'd like us to do the Google Ads or SEO for your website, go to dominatemarketing.io. Book a call with us there. Catch you on the next one.